got the energy to go on up and go into the studio. So we'll do it from there and see if this style is do more of these in the future. So video Sonny Edwards versus Bam Bam Rodriguez. So Bam Bam Rodriguez versus Sonny Edwards. Now I've watched the two guys. I've seen both of them fight before. Both excellent fighters. This is number one, number two in the world. Depending on how you view number one and number two, you might see Rodriguez as Bam Bam Rodriguez as number one. You might see Sonny Edwards as number one. So it depends the way you see it. I do want to get some thoughts out of the way, personal thoughts, and this is because I'm from the UK as well. But I actually would like to see Sonny Edwards win. It's refreshing to see a boxer who is able to speak his mind, not only speak his mind but also be very intelligent and be able to break things down and call things for what they actually are, in such an articulate manner. It's funny at times. Uh, when I look at Sonny Edwards, I remember the days of Naz, and a lot of people talk about Naz, but Naz was great. Naz was more, for me, more showmanship and devastating punching power. Well, then you've got Sonny Edwards here, is a young man that is brash at times, speaks his mind, which is I really enjoy, refreshing, and very articulate in what he says. You know, Naz is very cheeky with it, but this guy goes to that next level when it comes to articulating and speaking out, and it's something that I really respect about Sonny Edwards. Whilst I might not agree with everything he says, I really do like to see that. And for a British boxer, we need someone who is going to talk on what he's saying. You can actually, it's like fact, or close to fact. There's too many people in British boxing that say one thing one day and then do something the next day. I'm not mentioning names, but you see a lot of them. You see a lot of them talking, and then when you fact check the things, you find out that person's a contradiction. Again, no names being mentioned. So when you see someone like Sonny Edwards, like on the world stage in America, and I really hope he does win in America, because it would be great for British boxing. British boxing needs a shot in the arm. People actually talking sense, and I like him. I really do like him. I think he's a personality. I think we need more people like Sonny Edwards. It's a shame he's a flyweight, but we need more people like Sonny Edwards. That's my thoughts on that. Personal opinions on that. So, Bam Bam Rodriguez, I know he's young, he's powerful, he's a puncher, he comes forward, blah, 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 blah. Why I say bloody, bloody, blah is this, and this is probably a different type of preview, but I'm noticing a trend in boxing. And the trend seems to be those that are articulate, those that are well educated. I don't mean well educated, mean going to a good school, but they seem to have educated from a good school. It's not everything in one bag, shake it up, and that's what I'm going to use. And if I'm not successful and I'm not using that one game plan, then that's it. And I find, like, say, for example, when Devin Haney and Prograis were sitting at the face off, and Haney was saying to him, "You ain't got no skills, show me your skills." And the other guy was going, Prograis was going, "I'm going to knock you out, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to knock you out." I'm thinking, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to knock you out. Well, you haven't got the skill set. I've got longer arms than you, I've got better footwork than you, I've got better hand speed than you, I'm a better boxer puncher than you. So how exactly are you going to hurt me? I literally have to be stupid to get hit by you. And literally, you saw it in the ring on the night. Haney completely outboxed, outpunched, outmaneuvered, outthought Prograis. And there's a lot of these situations where guys that are just relying on just their power against the guy who's very skilled, very talented, it doesn't seem to work out for the guy that's got the punching power, just got punching power. And I really do hope this is not going to be another one of these nights where you've got two top fighters fighting, and the guy that throughout the whole press conference has been talking and has been, articulate. Edwards has not been talking rubbish. He's been talking stuff, and he's talking facts. So, he talked about, Riga's fighting for vacant titles, talked about Snack, He talked about Rodriguez maybe being weight drained, yeah, potentially being weight drained. He mentioned a lot of things about Rodriguez. He's a young boy, and he's got a lot. The weight is on his shoulders. He doesn't really want to box. He's forced into boxing. He's forced into boxing when he's a young lad. I know people like you, and he's saying these things. And even when Rodriguez is smiling at him, there are moments where Edwards has spoken to him, and I've just seen, yeah, you got me here, you got me there, you got me there, you got me there. Now, I don't know if Edwards is talking out of nervousness, but because this is the biggest fight of his career, as far as I'm concerned, and you're in America, the biggest fight of your career. But for me, I just think that Edwards has already beaten Rodriguez outside the ring. I really do. But I want to see me proven wrong on this. And if I'm proven wrong in this, is a good thing. But if I'm not proven wrong in this, and once again we have a big fight where one fighter is coming out of, you know, all his marbles in one bag, which is I'm going to knock you out, versus, well, I'm going to box you, I'm going to punch you, I'm going to outmaneuver you, I'm going to set traps for you, I'm going to outthink you. What happens if you can't land that big punch? Yes, Edwards has been down a few times in his career, but he's got up and won. But the fact of the matter is, as far as the way I look at it, or I've seen it, this boxing IQ seems to be getting into fights, and it seems to be I've seen from just a press conference, or I've seen from a face-off that, you know what, you're not going to do well in this fight. Like, another fight that always sticks out in my mind is when Dillian Whyte fought Joseph Parker, and like Parker at that time did not fancy it. He did not want it. He was like, I've got all the money in the bank. Parker's was saying that, and people were like, oh yeah, Parker's going to do with Dillian Whyte. I'm like, no, the way Dillian Whyte was roughing him up in the face-off, I'm like, no. When this fight happens, Dillian Whyte is going to rough up this dude, and we saw it. We saw what happened. So certain face-offs and certain you can read into certain face-offs. I've been able to read into certain face-offs, see what's happened. Like the Devin Haney fight with Prograde, another another press conference where there was a lot of rah, lots of noise, but ultimately, the noise that was being made, all the noise that was being made was mainly from Prograde's camp, because you couldn't really focus on Prograde's skill set. All you could focus on his punching power. You see, it's a distraction. When you've got all that rah going on, you're not really looking at, hey, look at Haney's skill set, look at Prograde's skill set. We're not looking at that. We're looking at the rah and the back and forth. So the press conferences are far more interested in the actual fight. And we've got another back and forth going on with lots of noise between Edwards and Rodriguez. Let's just hope that this fight is not another one of these fights where we have, although Rodriguez is young and he's powerful, but has he got the boxing IQ against someone like Sonny Edwards, who's a little older, a bit more experienced in that sense, seen a little bit more of the world? Is he going to be boy against man? Because the way that Edwards was talking to Rodriguez at the weigh-in, the way he was talking to him, like he was a man to a boy. If Rodriguez, in the fight ends up becoming the boy, and Edwards is the man in there, literally, and there's ways that can happen, where a guy can literally give up trying to throw big bombs and it's not working. Very frustrated. Edwards making him miss and making him pay, making him look stupid, humiliating him. What does Rodriguez do then? Now, that's why I hope that Edwards is what I mean by the real McCoy, that when he gets to America, some people when they go to America, they freeze. They do all the talking, and then when they get in the ring, can't perform. I don't think Edwards is that way. I think he's mentally strong. And that's why I hope he does win, because, you could see a Bam Bam Rodriguez all the time. But a Sonny Edwards, in terms of personality, being articulate, he's a bit of a showman. He's a guy you love to hate. Some people would love to hate him. But yeah, he's a guy that is going to be entertaining. far more entertaining. And the Bam Rodriguez, yeah, he's a puncher and stuff, but you can catch a Bam Rodriguez all the time. There's nothing about Bam Rodriguez I think stuff. Wow, that's outstanding. But I am interested. That's just my personal take on it. Obviously you've got your own opinions, um, but we'll see. Will it be boxing intelligence that wins this fight, or will Rodriguez flip the script on what I'm thinking, and punching power gets him there at the end? I'm not saying that Rodriguez isn't skilled, but people are more looking to see Rodriguez put pressure on Edwards, put him in tight corners, land big shots on him, and knock him out. That's what I see as the narrative for Rodriguez. Whereas for Edwards, I expect people expected him to set traps, be there, not be there, make Rodriguez miss, make him pay, switch hit, whatever. Just bamboozle Rodriguez. Maybe early doors Rodriguez will come out and try and put the pressure on. You might do, but I think Sonny Edwards is pretty confident in what he's doing, in his mindset, the way he's talking to Rodriguez. I hope he doesn't get complacent in there. A la Prince Nazim Hamed versus Kevin Kelly. The Prince came to America. It was his first outing in America, and there was a lot of hype. And he got in the ring. In the first minute and a half, the first minute, Naz was on the canvas. To get off the canvas, and the punching power landed on Kevin Kelly. But he had more scary moments in between that before he ended up knocking out Kevin Kelly. So I know Kevin Rodriguez is younger, and Edwards is not Naz in terms of punching power, but it's there. There's scripts there for that. The punching power of Rodriguez versus the flamboyance of someone like Sonny Edwards making his debut, American debut. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section of this fight. I'm going to go Sonny Edwards based on what I'm saying, either outpoint, outmaneuver, and bamboozle Rodriguez. If he's as good as I believe he is, then yes. And based on the being so articulate and so intelligent, I wouldn't expect Sonny Edwards to get caught with some silly shots. But if you lose concentration for 1 second at elite level, who knows? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If there is issues with Rodriguez at the weight, then you should see that second half of the fight. And also, if the weight drain is bad, then you'll see that in his durability. And the power of his punches going down the stretch, you'll see that as well. So, all right, those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. This has been BWTM Sports. I'm out. Thanks again.